stop believing that joint pain is a mandatory tax on your old age. It's not. In fact, the most powerful anti-inflammatory tool ever studied isn't sitting in your pharmacy, it's sitting in a frying pan in your kitchen. Today, I'm showing you exactly how 3 specific cooking oils can act as a biological shield to lubricate your joints and cut your reliance on painkillers. By the end of this video, you'll have a 24-hour plan to reclaim the freedom that arthritis tried to steal. You see, the cartilage in your joints, that beautiful, smooth cushioning that allows your bones to glide, actually has no nerve endings. None. This is a bit of a biological paradox. It means that your cartilage can be wearing down, thinning, and fraying for years, and you won't feel a single thing. It's working in the shadows. By the time that first sharp sting or that deep, dull ache actually wakes you up in the morning, the theft is already well underway. To understand this, imagine the front door of a house you've lived in for decades. When the house was new, the hinges were polished and well oiled. The door swung open with just a touch. But over time, if that oil isn't replenished, moisture and air start to create something we all recognize: rust. At first, the rust is invisible. It's just a microscopic layer. The door still opens quietly. You don't notice the damage, but day after day, that rust eats deeper into the metal. It creates friction. Eventually, one morning, you go to open the door and it lets out a loud, piercing creak. That creak is your arthritis. In the medical world, we call this low-grade chronic inflammation. But you can think of it as biological rust. It is a slow, oxidative fire that smolders in your joints. Because there are no nerves in the cartilage itself to sound the alarm, the body only sends a pain signal once the inflammation spills over into the surrounding tissues, the ligaments, the bone, and the fluid-filled sacs. By then, the hinge is already sticking. This is why simply living with the pain is so dangerous. If a door hinge is rusting, you don't just ignore the creak and keep forcing the door open until it breaks off the wall. You reach for the oil, you stop the oxidation, you treat the metal. But here is where the hope lies. Rust can be cleaned, friction can be reduced, and most importantly, inflammation can be calm. You aren't hurting because you are old. You are hurting because your biological hinges are thirsty for the right kind of protection. Your body isn't failing you. It's finally signaling for help. It's asking for maintenance that has been delayed for too long. The reason I'm telling you this is because once you understand that arthritis isn't a destiny, but a mechanical and chemical issue, you realize you have power. You don't have to wait for the next flare-up to reach for a pill that only masks the noise. You can go straight to the source. You can start oiling those hinges from the inside out. So, how do we stop the rust? How do we become the mechanics of our own mobility? It starts with understanding that the food you eat, specifically the fats you use to cook your meals, can either be the fuel that feeds the fire of inflammation or the high-grade lubricant that puts it out. Let's look at the first quiet hero in our kitchen that's ready to step in and start the repair work. Let's start with a quiet hero that I like to call the firefighter of joint health, flaxseed oil. It doesn't sizzle in a skillet, and you won't use it for frying, but don't let its gentle nature fool you. Inside this delicate oil is one of the most concentrated plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically something called alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA. If your arthritis is a fire, an immune system stuck in overdrive, attacking your own joints and creating heat, swelling, and damage, then ALA is the fire extinguisher. It works deep inside your biology to suppress the production of pro-inflammatory molecules. It's not just a theory. Clinical research shows that consistent use of flaxseed oil significantly reduces that dreaded morning stiffness and joint tenderness. One of my patients, Harold, who is 72, is the perfect example. Harold had reached a point where he was avoiding his morning walks because his knees just wouldn't wake up. He didn't want more pills, so we made one tiny change. He started adding just 1 tablespoon of cold-pressed flaxseed oil to his morning oatmeal. That was it. No massive diet overhaul, just 1 spoonful. About 3 weeks later, we spoke on the phone, and he told me, "Doc, I didn't even notice it at first. But this morning I stood up and my knees didn't complain. I actually forgot I had arthritis for a second." That's the power of providing your body with the raw materials it needs to heal itself. But there is a catch with flaxseed oil. You must never heat it. High temperatures destroy its delicate healing molecules. Think of it as a raw, living nutrient. You drizzle it over salads, stir it into yogurt, or blend it into a smoothie. Now, before you rush out to buy a bottle, I want to address something very important. I know how confusing the grocery aisles can be. You see rows of bottles, all claiming to be healthy. To truly help your joints, you have to look for the words cold, pressed, and unrefined. Why does this matter? Most cheap oils are extracted using high heat and harsh chemicals, which effectively kills the anti-inflammatory properties before the oil even reaches your kitchen. Real, potent oil should come in a dark glass bottle to protect it from light, which is another enemy of omega-3s. If you see flaxseed oil in a clear plastic bottle sitting under bright supermarket lights, leave it there. It's likely already lost its firefighting power. A good flaxseed oil should have a slightly nutty, earthy aroma. If it smells bitter or off, it's gone rancid. Your body deserves the fresh stuff. Now, if flaxseed oil is the firefighter, our next engineer is the sturdy shield avocado oil. If you've ever felt like your joints are bone on bone, this is the ally you've been looking for. While flaxseed oil works on the fire, avocado oil works on the padding. It contains a very specific group of compounds called ASU avocado, soybean unsaponifiables. Don't worry about the long name, just remember what it does. Multiple clinical trials have shown that ASU actually slows down the breakdown of your cartilage. It's like putting a protective coating over that hinge we talked about earlier. It prevents the bones from rubbing together and can even decrease your need for over-the-counter pain medications. The beauty of avocado oil is its versatility. Unlike flaxseed oil, avocado oil is a workhorse. It has a very high smoke point, meaning you can roast vegetables with it, sear your fish, or even use it in baking. It's smooth, buttery, and incredibly easy to fold into your daily routine. I saw this work for a woman named Sarah. She was skeptical because she'd tried every supplement under the sun. I told her, "Sarah, stop looking for a miracle pill and start changing the fat in your pan." She switched her regular vegetable oil to a high-quality, cold-pressed avocado oil for all her cooking. A month later, she realized she wasn't reaching for her knee braces as often. Her movement just felt looser, more fluid. When you're shopping for avocado oil, apply the same rule. Look for cold-pressed. You want that deep emerald green color. That color is a sign that the chlorophyll and the protective antioxidants are still intact, ready to shield your joints from the daily wear and tear of life. Between the firefighting power of flaxseed and the protective shield of avocado, you're already giving your body a massive advantage. But we haven't even reached the most famous oil of all, the one that has been trusted for centuries and holds a secret compound that mimics a popular pharmacy drug without any of the side effects. Let's talk about the golden liquid of the Mediterranean. If there is one oil that has stood the test of time crossing cultures, centuries, and kitchens, it is extra virgin olive oil. You likely have a bottle sitting on your counter right now. You use it to drizzle over a salad or saute some greens. But what you might not realize is that this liquid gold is actually a master of disguise. It is, quite literally, a natural painkiller impersonator. Let me explain. We've talked about the firefighter and the shield, but olive oil is something even more profound. It contains a very specific, naturally occurring molecule called oleocanthal. And here is the aha moment. Researchers discovered that oleocanthal mimics the exact same action as ibuprofen. It works by blocking the same inflammatory enzymes known as COX-1 and COX-2 that cause the swelling, the heat, and that gnawing ache in your joints. In fact, a landmark study published in the journal Nature found that about 3.5 tablespoons of high-quality extra virgin olive oil provides an anti-inflammatory effect, similar to 10% of an adult dose of ibuprofen. Now, I know what you're thinking. 10%? That doesn't sound like much. But here's the secret to healing as we get older. It isn't about the one-time knockout punch. It's about the quiet, steady accumulation of better choices. When you use olive oil consistently, day after day, week after week, you are providing your body with a constant, gentle stream of anti-inflammatory microdoses. Unlike the pills you buy at the pharmacy, this natural medication doesn't tear up your stomach lining. It doesn't put a heavy burden on your liver or kidneys. It just quietly works in the background, lowering the internal temperature of your joints so they don't feel so angry when you wake up in the morning. I remember working with a woman named Marlene. She was 68 and lived in a beautiful 2-story home, but she was starting to feel like a prisoner on the first floor. The stairs had become her enemy. She was tired of the pill fatigue, that cycle of taking one medication to dull the pain and another to fix the stomach issues the first one caused. I told her, Marlene, let's try a different approach. Let's make olive oil the foundation of every meal. She started using it for her morning eggs, her lunchtime dressings, and drizzling it over her roasted vegetables at dinner. After about 2 months, she called me with a catch in her voice. She said, Doc, I still have arthritis, but it doesn't have me anymore. I'm moving how I want to, not how my pain tells me to. But to get results like Marlene, you have to know how to spot the real deal. Not all olive oil is created equal, and the medicine is often stripped away during processing. You must choose extra virgin and cold pressed. And here is a secret tip I always give my patients: the throat test. When you take a sip of high-quality olive oil or eat a dish where it's the star, you should feel a tiny, peppery sting or a bite at the back of your throat. Some people think the oil has gone bad when they feel that, but it's actually the opposite. That sting is the oleocanthal. It's the oil's way of signaling to you that the anti-inflammatory power is fresh, active, and ready to go to work on your joints. If it's greasy and tasteless, it's missing the medicine. I also get asked a lot, is it safe to use this if I'm already on blood thinners or heart medication? Because this is a whole food, it is generally very safe. It's not a drug that's going to clash violently with your prescriptions. It's a nutrient that supports your body's baseline health. However, because it is so effective at calming inflammation, many people find that over time, they naturally start needing less of their over-the-counter pain med. Think of extra virgin olive oil not as an ingredient, but as an investment in your freedom. It's the daily habit that pays dividends in the form of a morning walk without bracing yourself, or a trip to the grocery store without checking for the nearest bench. Now that we've met our three engineers, the firefighter, the shield, and the natural painkiller, the only question left is, how do we put them all together? How do we turn these three bottles into a simple, effortless routine that fits into your life starting tomorrow? Let's build your 24-hour joint repair plan. So, how do we turn all of this science and soul into a simple rhythm you can actually live by? We've looked at the firefighter, the shield, and the natural painkiller, but they only work if they show up for duty every single day. Here is your 24-hour joint repair roadmap. In the morning, we start with the firefighter. Before you even head out for a walk or start your chores, you want to get that flaxseed oil into your system. Add 1 tablespoon of cold-pressed flaxseed oil to your morning smoothie, your yogurt, or even just stir it into your oatmeal once it's off the stove. Remember what we said, no heat. By starting your day this way, you're sending those omega-3s in early to douse the flames of morning stiffness. You're prepping your hinges for the day ahead. Then, when lunchtime rolls around, we bring in the painkiller. Use 1 to 2 tablespoons of high-quality extra virgin olive oil. Drizzle it over your leafy greens. Use it to saute some sweet potatoes. Or just dip a bit of crusty whole grain bread into it. This provides that midday dose of oleocanthal to keep the inflammation at bay while you're active. And don't forget the throat test. If you feel that little peppery bite, you know it's working. Finally, for dinner, we lean on the sturdy workhorse avocado oil. Since dinner often involves more heat, roasting vegetables, or searing a piece of wild-caught fish, avocado oil is your best friend. Its high smoke point means it won't break down, and it will deliver those ASU compounds to support your cartilage while your body rests and repairs itself overnight. Now, I often get asked, isn't that a lot of oil? Am I going to gain weight or mess up my cholesterol? That is a very valid concern. But remember, this isn't about just adding more times fat to your diet. It's about times swapping times the bad for the good. You're replacing those cheap, inflammatory vegetable oils, the ones that act like liquid rust, with these 3 healing fats. Most experts agree that 2 to 3 tablespoons of these healthy fats throughout the day is the sweet spot for anti-inflammatory benefits without overdoing the calories. And for those of you on blood thinners or heart medication, always have a quick chat with your doctor. But for the vast majority of us, these aren't drugs. They are the raw materials our bodies have been starving for. As you start this plan tomorrow, I want you to remember something very important. Every time you reach for one of these bottles, every time you choose nourishment over a quick fix, you are sending a message to your body. And that message is, I haven't given up on myself. You see, there are millions of people out there who have been told to just accept the pain. They've settled for a life that's smaller than it used to be. They've accepted the creaks and the rust as a permanent part of who they are. But you are different. You've taken the time to understand the why behind your pain. You've learned that your freedom isn't something that was taken away forever. It's something you can reclaim, 1 meal at a time. You are not stuck. You are not helpless. And you are certainly not alone. Every small, gentle shift you make is a victory. It's a step toward walking down those stairs with confidence, toward playing on the floor with your grandkids, and toward moving through the world on your own terms. Your joints have carried you through decades of life, through every joy, every struggle, and every mile. Now, it's your turn to take care of them. If this message spoke to you today, if you're ready to take back your strength and your dignity, I'd be so grateful if you'd click like and share this video. There is someone out there right now, maybe a friend or a neighbor, who is sitting in their chair feeling like their best days are behind them. Your share could be the hope they've been praying for. And if you want more trustworthy, gentle guidance on how to feel stronger and live fuller after 60, please subscribe to this channel. I'll be here every week with real answers, grounded in science and delivered with care.